Good morning class, Standard 7, Subject English, Unit 3.1, Poem, The Tartary. In my previous class, I introduced the poem to you as well as I explained about the writer. Today, let's focus on the stanzas. The first stanza is on page number 55. I'll read out to you the first stanza and then I will explain to you. If I were Lord of Tartary, myself and me alone, my bed should be of ivory, of beaten gold my throne, and in my court should peacocks flun, and in my forest tigers hound, and in my pools great fishes slant their fins athwart the sun. If I were Lord of Tartary, so who is the lord of a place? The king of a place is called as a lord of place. So if I were Lord of Tartary, what would you do? Myself and me alone, that is, I myself, I alone, I am the Lord of Tartary. That is, no one else in Tartary who is more important than me. So, if I were Lord of Tartary, myself and me alone, my bed should be of ivory. So, see a bed which is made up of ivory, which is fit for the king to sleep on. So, he is saying that if I become the king of Tartary, then my bed will be made up of ivory. Of beaten gold my throne. I will sleep on an ivory bed, and I will sit on a golden throne. Can you see when the gold is beaten into sheets and it is made into a throne? What is a throne? A throne is a royal chair on which the kings and queens they sit. Right. So once again, I read out the poem to you. If I were Lord of Tartary, myself and me alone, my bed should be of ivory, of beaten gold my throne. So this is an imagination. When I become Lord of Tartary, this is how my life is going to be then. And in my court should peacock flun. Now he will have such a big coat. In his coat he will have peacocks walking around, flaunting, showing off. And in my coat peacocks should flaunt. And in my forest tigers hunt. So there will be peacocks which are dancing in my court, tigers who are walking around in my jungle. He also says, and in my pools great fishes slant their fins outward the sun. There are fishes also. He got a pool in which there are great fishes, big fishes, and who go from here and there under the sun. They wave their fins and they go from one side of the pool to the other side of the pool under the sun. So these are some of his dreams, some of his imagination of becoming the Lord or the king or the ruler of the place which is called the Lord of Tartary. Moving on to the next para, that is the next stanza. I'll read out to you first. If I were Lord of Tartary, trumpeters every day to every meal would summon me, and in my courtyard bray. And in the evening lamps would shine, yellow as honey, red as wine, while harp and flute and mandolin made music sweet and gay. Trumpeters every day. So, who are trumpeters? Trumpeters are people who blow their instrument called as they trumpet. So, can you see trumpet? Yes. If I were Lord every day, to every meal would summon me. So will not just go and have lunch or dinner. The trumpeters will blow or play their trumpets, and they will call me for every meal. To every meal would summon me, and in my courtyard bray. So there will be people blowing trumpet in order to call me or invite me for my meal. And he says, in my courtyard or in my compound, there will be lots of lamps which will shine in the evening. So you can see these lamps which will always shine in his courtyard. Every evening we also light lamps only when there is an occasion. When there is a festival, we light lamps. But he is the Lord of Tartary. He is the King of Tartary. So every evening there would be lamps which shine in his courtyard. Yellow as honey, red as wine. Yellow as honey, the lamps would look like red as wine, while harp and flute and mandolin, so they play the trumpet to invite him, and the lamps are shining also to invite him, and in order to feel him or make him happy. And along with that, music is also played. So there are people playing music on the harp. See, this is the harp. It is the string instrument. There will be people playing music on the flute. So we call it as a basuri. And then there are people who will be playing music on the mandolin, which is again a string instrument. So see, all this will happen when he just wants to eat a meal, while harp and flute and mandolin made music sweet and gay. So when he just wants to have a meal, which is an ordinary thing for us, when we feel hungry, we go and pick up a plate and we serve our meal and we eat it quietly. But now, here the poet is the Lord of Tartary. So his meals are also very lavish. They are very grand. So whenever he wants to eat, the people who are playing the trumpet, there are lamps which are shining. There is music played on the harp, the flute, the mandolin, and other instruments like that, because he is the king and because he is in his imagination, he can imagine anything he wants to. My dear girls, I have explained the first two stanzas. You could write it down in your book and will wait for the next class. Until then, thank you.